Traditional ethnic Asian desserts. Molekui, my Singaporean friend who now lives in California, constantly talks about food back home, and home is Singapore. She loves her foods, and having lived there for more than 5 years, she discovers there are few precious foods which cannot be found anywhere in California or elsewhere in US. One of the things she misses and hopes many Americans will discover is this exotic traditional sweet and savory dessert group called Molekui. Originating from Indonesia, Malaysia and Singapore, Molekui recipes were exported from the deep villages and brought to life and popularized now in big cities and hotels and restaurants. Yet the art of making these cuis is still elusive to many people. That goes for Asians as well. These gooey and delicious desserts are still not known to people in the US or Europe, and it is such a pity such glorious foods are hidden from a population who loves desserts. Most of us in Southeast Asia are familiar with Western cakes, puddings and brownies, and we often have a wide selection of desserts of East/West to choose from to satisfy our sweet tooth. If only our desserts are known in the West, more people will learn to make them and impress their family and friends. This also makes for a great and new potluck idea. It is totally different from the Western desserts and yet achieves similar gratification. The creative use of colors and fragrance from banana or pandan leaves make these cuis distinctive and will stand out in a buffet crowd. Unlike Western desserts which use basic ingredients like butter, eggs, plain flour and castor sugar, the Molekuis use basic ingredients like flour made from tapioca, green beans, yam, sago and palm sugar and coconut milk. These are mostly steamed, sometimes wrapped in banana leaf. Steaming is not the only way to do it these days. As these cuis emerge from the deep villages, new recipes have been created and baked instead of steamed. Furthermore, Western desserts are mostly sweet whilst these cuis recipes include savories as well. This can be created from using tapioca flour and coconut milk and then topped with minced meat which has been salted with spices and garnished with fried onions. These savories are still called cuis and yet many Asians eat them for breakfast or light lunch or for high teas. Basically there are no rules when it comes to eating traditional Molekuis. These ingredients and method of baking were a result of circumstances where modern amenities were not available to them. So they resourcefully used materials like ham, tapioca or beans and made into flour. Steaming was done on stove using charcoals. Coconut milk was used to achieve rich and gooey results, just like Westerners use butter or cheese. It is quite amazing what palm sugar can achieve in terms of taste and color, and yet the result is equally comforting if not more. Traditional ethnic Asian desserts. Molekui, my Singaporean friend who now lives in California, constantly talks about food back home, and home is Singapore. She loves her foods, and having lived there for more than 5 years, she discovers there are few precious foods which cannot be found anywhere.